Let me just go on here. Symbiosis relationships could be cited probably by the millions.
Sure, of course.
Okay.
No question.
That are absolutely no problem to a creationist, okay, and probably pose a problem to the evolutionist. I know you don't think it does, but I think a logical person would say, you're right. Which evolved first, the tire or the rim to hold the tire, and how did one do any good without the other, They both.
Which one evolved first, glue being broken or the orange trees? Same kind of question.
Well, see, but even the gluon being broken, losing the ability to produce vitamin C is the opposite of what you need for an example for evolution, because that's losing something. That's not gaining something.
It's change.
But it's negative.
Yeah, that particular case is negative.
I know. All the particular cases are negative.
I don't think so.
I know you don't think so. That's why we have this program, because we want to get you one over. But all of the examples are negative. None of them are positive that anybody's ever pointed out. Okay, let me give you.
Martin pointed out the thing with the bacteria and the different genes that replicate and then adapt to different types of diets.
Well, let's stick to one thing at a time. Let me give you my other reasons why I think six-day creation is the only thing that's logical, and my reasons for it. I said the Bible says so clearly. Number 2, ancient cultures teach that. There must be a reason why there are other stories like this. Number 3, symbiosis relationships. Number 4, slightly related to that, is the gas reciprocation. Plants give off oxygen and take in CO2, whereas animals take in oxygen and give off CO2.
Right.
So I think there would be a problem with the mixture of gases, over billions of years. You have to imagine that this somehow maintained this delicate balance. There's a delicate balance between literally thousands of things. Like, for instance, the distance the Earth is from the Sun. There's only a narrow band in our solar system where life is even possible. There's only a narrow band on this planet where life is possible. I mean, you go up 10 miles or down 10 miles, it's not possible.
Right, and like I would always say to this is called basically the Anthropic principle.
Right.
I would say that there's billions of other solar systems where there aren't people on the phone talking about how the conditions for life are just perfect, because it didn't happen.
But because we're talking about it, that proves it happened. This is where your logic goes.
Nobody's disputing that this narrow range exists. I'm just saying that doesn't mean anything because we have so many examples where it can't happen.
Isn't that, for example, if we say everything is so highly tuned, you could say if it wasn't, we wouldn't be talking about it. But isn't that just like saying, well, maybe there is a chance that someone did design it? It's just as plausible.
Jonathan, I keep saying over and over again, I entertain the possibility of an intelligent designer all the time. I'm just not
understand that.
for it.
Okay. I'm not trying to chop at you. I was just making sure that point was out there as well.
Another thing, Jared, for you to chew on here, of why 6 days is much more logical from a scientific perspective.
Why not 10 days?
Okay, or 10, a short period of time, okay? We'll give it, within a few days. The incredible harmony in nature where everything is 100% recycled. I mean, the Earth, if you looked at it as a recycling organism, is unbelievably efficient. Nothing's wasted. Everything gets recycled. Of course, man is able to manipulate things and produce a few products that are pretty hard to digest by the Earth, and, we may indeed mess up this planet with some of the stuff we're producing. But, aside from the modern technology of the last few hundred years, this is an incredibly well-designed, if you want to call it a machine, that is, pretty hard to explain how all this complexity went through these billions of changes and remained 100% efficient the entire time it was making all those changes.
It's incredibly hard to explain if you're demanding every minutia be given. That's for sure. Nobody's claiming this is a simple explanation.
Well, that's why I point out evolution is a dumb explanation. Now, if you want to believe it, that's fine. I know it's the explanation you've chosen, but it doesn't make common sense to believe that all these complex things have changed over billions of years and at the same time remained symbiotic and remained 100% recyclable. I mean, what if there was a time in the past where there were just too many plants and produced too much, oxygen and, created oxygen toxicity? Or what if there was a time when there weren't enough plants and too many animals and the plants all die because of lack of CO2?
Or what if a certain animal evolved that just destroyed all the other life?
Say that again?
Or what if an animal evolved that just destroyed all the other life? Like us.
Right.
It could happen.
It could happen, sure. The Star Wars, get one man go in there and blow up the whole planet. And,
I was just looking at an article in New Scientist. I believe they were saying that, I can't remember, some large geological thing or some large atmospheric factor was changed by bird droppings is what they're thinking now. So, I mean, just bird poop can cause some big problems.
Or the scientist from Indiana that says the dinosaurs killed themselves off by their own flatulence. You know, they farted themselves to oblivion, you know.
That's ridiculous.
Well,
it sounds ridiculous to me. I don't know.
Well, I lived in a house with a guy that would convince me that there's some plausibility to that theory. I mean,
it could happen, huh?
I've got an older brother that would tear the world up, I think.
Set off the smoke detector.
Yeah, I love him, though. Just don't want to sleep.
So, you asked my reasons why I believe six-day creation is logical, I believe, what word you used, but certainly the Bible does teach that. You have to admit that. Whether you believe it or not, the Bible does teach it. Okay?
No, no, Ken, I totally agree that's what the Bible teaches, and I'm actually sort of on your side when it comes to defending the integrity of Christianity. When people talk about what Christianity is and what the Bible is, I don't really tolerate people who want to just distort the words of the text to be whatever they want it to be. I hate that. So I at least admire you in that sense for, like, sticking to your guns.
Well, good. Yeah, we try to.
Just that I think that you're wrong.
Right, I understand. We try to be consistent, and it bothers me that these people try to blend the two theories and say, well, maybe God used evolution.
It bothers me too. I disrespect people who do that.
Right. They're on the lunatic fringe for both of us, in my opinion. Okay.
I pretty much agree. Okay.
Sure.
Now, is there anything for creationists that is a problem?
Oh,
even in potentiality.
Well, of course, the things that would be way beyond our even possible grasping at this point would be, where could such a creator come from?
Oh, of course, that's a huge ontological problem.
But no, I don't know if it's a problem other than it's a misstating of the question. The question of where does the creator come from assumes he had to come from somewhere. And
I know you get into philosophical and metaphysical questions here that are really, really slippery. So I hardly ever go that direction because I know what a quagmire that is. But
well, yeah, it does assume the creator is limited by time, in which case.
Sure.
One day, folks. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.